the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
The Honest Edit Podcast. Unpacking the truth about life's messes, one honest conversation at a time. With your host, Scarlett, the no-fluff, get-it-done mindset coach, and Holli, your go-to for all things practical, balancing chaos with compassion.
Welcome back to The Honest Edit. Today we're talking about how many bins is too many bins. Over shopping. Over enthusiasm on the trendy bins and all the things that you can order and buy, and going to the Container Store and getting on Amazon and having a whole bunch of crap being delivered to your house and what that looks like.
And then filling it with more crap.
Yes, because bins can actually turn out to be the cluttery item in your house. Yes.
Hot news, you can be a porter of bins.
Yes, you can.
I was kind of over bins last week because I went to Target to get some new things for Max's closet. And guess how many I bought?
Well, I know how many I would buy for a closet, so that kind of makes my brain hurt. I'll just throw out a random number. 18?
18. I didn't buy that many, but that's good.
Because that would be double what I would buy.
I needed like 5, and I came home with like 12 different things, and none of them
worked.
Well, some of them worked, but they weren't exactly what I had planned to do. And so that gets a little tricky too, because you're like, oh, this is what I need. And then you get in there and you start moving stuff around and you're like, oh, I don't need that. And maybe that's why people overshop. But it's definitely a situation sometimes, especially with a little one. And my kiddo is getting so good about putting things back where they go and putting him in his home. And that's great. But I also went through the garage the other day, and I have a deep sweater box from the Container Store full of lids.
Because you're just not using the lids? Or
I guess that I'm not using lids, but I've also had that thing for like 5 years. And I'm thinking, oh, well, they'll come up in this move, and they don't. And so I have this box of lids. So I texted a girlfriend that I used to live with, and I said, hey, when I moved out, did you lose all your Container Store lids? And Johnny was like, yes, I had to go buy new lids. And I was like, I have lids. I've had them for 8 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I have a bin situation. I have a bin situation at my house, but that's okay.
But I think that's where we can go in and we could talk about a method too. I mean, we always don't try to focus on total organizing hacks and all that stuff. It's not what this podcast is about. We just want to talk about what it's really like being an organizer and giving you insights into our lives and all that stuff. But to kind of roll into a method here is that when you are, or when I am doing a space, and this is how I teach it to organizers that work with me or work for me, is, you pull everything out. You sort them in the categories. You let go of things that you're no longer interested in, or it's broken, or it's damaged, or you want to give it away, or whatever. And then from there, you space plan. And you decide, well, this is a robust category that should go here, or this is a smaller category and I don't really need it, so it should go up high, or whatever. And what I like to do is called staging. And so I take those items and I act like they're going to be placed in a bin, and I put them on that shelf.
Yeah.
So then when I take a photo of how many bins that I need or what size or whatever, I just count. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 bins. And then whatever the measurement is, I already know it because I measured it. And then that's it. And that's how I operate. That's what I do. And I don't deviate from that like whatsoever. But I know when you do go in the store, and this is actually why I shop online, because it's harder because you're actually specifically searching online for what you need. But when you walk into the store, you go, this is cool. Ooh, that's new. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Oh, that's a nice new item. And then you kind of get lost and you end up buying more things than you should. And, oh, I wanted that for my desk. Or, oh, that'd be great for my kitchen. And then you kind of get lost. So I almost put a fail safe in place, and I shop online for a reason, because I specifically know what I'm going to order. And it's a bit more tasking and tedious than just walking in the store.
I'll do online stuff, but sometimes I go in the store. And that's how it becomes. And it's like squirrel. Oh my gosh, there's all these new things. And then I end up changing my whole mind. And usually it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I think the obsession with bins, there was like a I don't know, some article like last year, I think it was kind of coming out of COVID, of like, your home can't be organized until everything's in a clear bin. And it was,
yeah, I even like clear bin. No, I know it's really good for some people and it's great for kids and whatever. But when you have a clear bin, you see that looks cluttery to me. Put a freaking ginormous label on there and have it one clear cut category.
I agree.
I get so...
She's upset about the clear bins, people. We've been on jobs and it's been, oh no, we didn't get the right bins. And I get it, because I also, if you want something to look nice and cohesive in a space, being able to see through.
I might have to edit this part. I'm like fighting with my straw over here. So by the way, TMI, but I'm literally looking a bit, I can't suck out of a straw right now. Because, I got taught, side tangent. This is, I guess, in looking behind the scenes here, but I got what's called a lip flip. Yes, I do Botox. My whole eyebrows fall down and then I can't see because my eyelids, it's at the end. So yes, I get Botox. So you either like me or you don't like me about it. But she talked me into a lip flip. Mm-hmm. But I thought I would be able to lose use of my lip after like the third week, and I'm still, and she's like, we're not going to be able to drink out of a straw for at least 5 to 7 days and whatever. And I'm going, it's been 3 weeks and I still can't. And I drink more water when I drink out of a straw. But I'm looking a little special right now because I'm going, I can't get the straw in my mouth.
That's so funny.
Maybe I should have got a clear glass for this.
Well, do you want me to go grab you one?
I guess I could just take this off.
I mean, and then would you ever spill it on yourself? It's really hard for me to drink without a straw. And I like it. If it's a small glass, I can try. If it's clear, it also helps. But, yeah, when I got my Botox, my eyebrows were like this for like a week. And I was like, that's going to calm down, right? It did. Yeah, it was a lot.
I like it because mine gets so low, and it does impact how I see.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that that's where my face is going. It's just gravity is taking hold and it's going down.
It's all going.
And man, I like my vision.
You like to see?
I'm just over here trying to get straw in my mouth while you're trying to make a point. I don't remember what the hell we were talking about.
I don't know.
But I'm going, I should probably address this because people are gonna see that.
They're gonna see it
and go, she drinks funny and I'm gonna turn into a meme or something. Look at this girl try to drink out of a straw.
We can go back. It's fine. Well, we can do it.
Don't get any ideas on a meme and me and a straw.
Okay, so containers, bins. There are 10 places to buy bins, and the purpose of a bin is so something has a home and it's not just scattered or out. And so like having a home, having maybe a lid if it's okay, having a label so everyone knows that this is where the tape goes, these are where the batteries go, this is where the extra toothbrushes go. Great. Now, I think because of COVID and everyone got into organizing mode and the home edit and all the things, which has been great because everything's more accessible now, there are so many places to get these bins. We want to tell you a few of our favorite ones. Mm-hmm. We are not only Scarlett and I, but also all of the organizers I know in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We have gone on tangents about bins and organizing containers because behind the scenes, we're super frustrated. One of the frustrations is building in new homes. It's like whoever's measuring these drawers have no idea what is going to go in them. And in closets, too, I had a client that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a new closet. And you would put a woman's top on the hanger or a man's top on the hanger, and it would hit the bottom.
I thought you were talking about where the top too, because it'll scrape
both.
And I'm going,
if you're encapsulating any box of 4-foot clothes, please measure it. There's also some standards that we'll put on our Instagrams of like where things need to stop, especially in closets with clothes. But it's very, very frustrating. In older homes, you have very deep, dark, like drawers and cabinets.
Yeah.
And so most of the time there's not, the shelf can't move.
Whenever you have a contract, and I used to build homes, like I was a project manager for a builder. And so I'm seeing all of it. Like I'm seeing the front end of the builds and the contractors, and I'm seeing the back end as an organizer and what you're doing in the functionality of working what was built.
Right.
And you really want as much adjustability as possible, because it's like they're not going to know, well, because when we're space planning, are you left-handed, right-handed? How tall are you? Can you reach this? Priority-wise, like what's important to you? They need to do more of a generalized scope and just get their work done. And 9 times out of 10 or 10 out of 10, contractors and GCs are too busy, and they run in and they're rushing and they're always behind on their timelines, and they're just not thinking about those things. They're wanting to get it nice and pretty and built and painted and done and get out.
And they say this is the standard. It's going to be 36 inches, and it's been like that forever. It doesn't work like that. So it's super frustrating to us. And if you're, like Scarlett said earlier about the pantry, take everything and put it where it's supposed to be. Take a picture, live with it, call a professional, figure out and it go there.
We help with builders, contractors, our clients look at plans for remodels or new builds, and we do comparisons with the storage that you previously see the lip thing again. Yeah. You previously have, can't even talk. And we compare it to what you're going to use in the future, and how to remedy some things or what will create more space. The one thing that drives me nuts is those sliding rollout. It's kind of like a drawer. Yeah. And I hate it. So much of the cabinet space itself. So you're having the ease of pulling something out, and it's a wonderful thought or theory, but you can fit 3 things in there. And or even in the corner shelf, and they have the pull out whatever. And sometimes they're really, if they're done right, it's wonderful. Right. You're pulling it out, you're utilizing the whole corner of that cabinet. Sometimes they're not done right. And I'm like, I can't even put a bin on here. Mm-hmm. And whatever's going to be set on here is just kind of flippity floppity over, and God forbid if it's breakable. So then I'm limited a cabinet because we don't know. And when we're also space planning, especially kitchen, when I'm making this statement, is you want cooking items near the stove and near the oven. You want prep items near the fridge and the sink. You want daily items near the dishwasher or whatever. But when you have that corner cabinet, it just kind of screws everything up, because what the hell can I put in here? And then it's something exceptional or oddball, and it doesn't really make sense in the rhythm and the rhyme. So it's like you really want to think through, what are you installing? What stuff do you have? How do you operate? Take a deep dive into that, and then decide, how many bins do I need? What are the measurements? The whole clear or, colored thing, and then label it. And I will say another thing, because you brought up, I don't want to harp on the home edit. They're great. They're wonderful. They revolutionized our industry, but when I say put a category in a bin and slap a label on it, whether it's clear or colored, that doesn't mean, and I'm talking about crafts here, you take 100 pom-poms and divide out the colors and go, here's a $20 bin for all the yellow pom-poms. Here's a $20 bin for all the blue pom-poms. And then before you know it, you have 10 bins that are $20 each, which is pom-poms. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool and pretty for marketing. Yeah. And great. But when it's in a playroom or a craft section.
If you're putting the pom-poms in the bathtub so your kid will get in the bath at night, you don't need different bins for that. You just need.
Well, and that's good. Crafts, pom-poms, like, what I'm talking about? The little fuzzy things that you glue. Oh, you put them in the bathtub?
Yeah. We have a strainer. We put them in the bathtub. They play. Trying to get a kid in the bathtub, you need full out all the stops. We also use food dye, the non-toxic kind, and shaving cream.
There's some ideas.
Listen, the struggle is real, y'all. It is. So,
but I can see the creativity there. You're really diving into, I would have never thought shaving cream in a bath time.
There was a meme the other day that was you cook Thanksgiving meal all week for your kid, and you make this beautiful meal, and they don't want any of it, but they definitely want to eat the shaving cream concoction that they came up with in the bathtub. That's my lie. here are green beans that have been braised for 3 hours and all the things. And no, mama, drink this honey I made with salt and food coloring. It's great. So that's my life at home. Anyways.
We're in 2 different phases. My daughter is college plans, and Holly over here has shaving cream and bath time.
It is. So if you're crafting and you're sewing, and I mean, I've had so many craft rooms are like kind of one of my favorite things to do because I love all of this stuff, but it can get overwhelming. So back to what Scarlett said in the beginning, like if you're doing a space, take the stuff, categorize it, purge it, and then put it back where it goes and do a space plan before you go and buy things.
Yeah, because 2 points on that is for me at my house, and this can differ from a client who might have help or just really likes to do this, but they may decant, all of their snacks into pop canisters. Well, I ain't got time for that. And the only thing I decant into mason jars is pasta, rice, and grains. Like, that's it. So for me, that would not work in my household. I also have Harry Potter's closet as a pantry, so I don't really have that much room.
She's the cutest Harry Potter closet.
Cute is a great word for that. Speaking of builders, I'd love to meet the one that built that pantry in my house. But also Lego rooms. I've done a million Lego areas, rooms, shelves, closets, cabinets, 1,800 different ways to Sunday. And there are so many times I run into, gosh, I'd love to clear bin and color code. And I'm going, okay, well, that's cool. I'm going to be here for 26 hours sorting colors. Are you going to want to do this every single time you go to clean up Legos? Because your kid's not going to do it. Now, I have only met one child in my entire organizing career, and I did a Lego room for him. And it was kind of cool, to see how he wanted it color-coded, and he is meticulous about putting back, if he is going to put it back, because once he builds something, it's we did a really cool display wall, but he's like a 1%er.
The only one.
Yeah, because he not only color codes, but he also did the characters versus the flat Legos and the bricks and all the pieces and then the accessories and I worked hand in hand with this freaking kid who I think at that point was 12. So I want to say he's probably 14 or 15 now. And he's just got that brain where he was completely fine with doing that. And it was really a fun project for me, even though I'm literally yellow, red. I was there for a week doing that. But the point is, I got a little tangent here, is you really got to think about the maintenance in the everyday life that you're going to utilize this new system that you just organized or we just organized for you. So that's something to always think about when you're buying bins and what category is going to be in that bin. You don't want it too generalized. Miscellaneous items, that's not helpful. But you also don't want to go into really categorizing as far as colored Legos.
Right.
It's too much.
Too much. We got a Lego size sorter. You can get on Amazon. There's all kinds of different ones, but my plan was because we have the Trofast system in Max's room, and my sweet mother-in-law kept all my husband's Legos when he was a kid. So we did lots of Legos. And I was like, it'd be really cool to someone who hasn't Legoed in years, decades. It would be cool to put them all by shape. And so we tried that, and I was like, this isn't going to work. I have a Lego sorter if anybody needs it. But now they just live in these little bins, and it works because we know where they go. I love a Lego display wall. IKEA has some great shelves, or even those acrylic shelves to display the Legos. There's lots of ways to do it, but yes, get something when you're planning to do it, figure out what the maintenance is going to look like and make it easy on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of pantries, though, so you have your Harry Potter closet pantry, and I don't have a pantry. I have drawers.
Oh, wait, you don't even have the cabinet? You say host?
Cabinet. I have
just stacked. The drawers thing on my cabinet.
Peninsula, and I have 2 drawers, and then I have a corner cabinet, and then the opposite is canned. So I have 3 areas in my kitchen where I keep all of our pantry stuff. So I've had to get very creative and very nitty-gritty. One of my favorite containers for the drawers is we do decant so I can see things, but the Home Edit long, like tall rectangle ones are great because I can have a label on the top. They all fit in the drawer, thank God. And then I have like one other little space for snacks, like snack bars. But I've had to get really creative, and I do have to decant so I can find something and grab it. You know, all the flowers and all the things. So there is definitely things that are out there that will work for your space. It's just finding them. And a lot of people have great returns too. So if you decide to buy something and then you space it out and it doesn't work, you can return it and find something else. And if you get stuck, call us. We can help you.
Sometimes when we're organizing a space, we think something is going to work, and then we get there with the containers and we go, actually, I'd rather, or maybe we're just coming in with a fresh eye, and we're going, you know what, I've got energy. It's not at the end of the day. I'm not rushing to like whatever. Coming in with a fresh eye, coming with all the containers, and I might tweak something, but I'm not tweaking the whole freaking thing. It just might be like one subtle change. Maybe I'll use a lazy Susan instead of a bin.
Yeah.
Because that makes a little bit more sense.
A lot of the containers that like systems that I use in my house, I use with my clients. Do you find that like you find something that works really well for your home and something you use for clients?
For me, I'm kind of a rinse and repeater. I'm kind of a boring organizer in a sense where I don't find the latest, greatest thing. Like I have someone on my team, Amber, who is just incredible with products, and she just finds the most amazing. And I'm so lucky to have her because I'll just defer to her as far as like finding really cool different items that we test out. And sometimes they work out and sometimes they just don't.
Right.
But for me, I know what works and I keep it simple. And some people have called me boring, other organizers. And I'm like, well, that's okay. I'm not here to make really cool, interesting posts. I'm here to really implement what works and make it easy and simple and teach that.
Right.
So for me, I don't have like the latest, coolest thing in my house. It's more like I just know what works and I keep it very, very simple.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I like simplicity too. And I think that, yes, it's so satisfying to watch these Instagram videos with all of the decanting and all the new containers and all this stuff. But if you're doing a big shop for a big space, that stuff adds up. And on top of our time to do it, it can add up and it can be a little overwhelming. So even getting creative with the things that you have in your home, like I've used paper bags before. I've used shoe boxes before. I've used the Amazon boxes. I had a client that wanted to use all of those for everything, and she like wallpaper or put like wrapping paper or something, and she made them really cute and they looked really great in the space.
Yeah.
And so there's so many different ways that you could do.
Yeah, I have older clients where they grew up with saving everything that they had because they've gone through wars or they've gone through really hard times or, and they don't believe in just like purging and getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we find ways to repurpose bins or items or whatever that they've had and that helps on budgets. It doesn't always have to be a new, cool, clear bin that everybody is chalked up about. You can absolutely repurpose. Again, it's just all about how your space makes you feel. Not like, even when I go into clients and sometimes they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I just want it this way. And I'm going, why are you apologizing to me? Like, this is your home. I'm learning you, you're learning me, and I'm just gauging what I feel like would work for what is your habits, your system, how you operate in your space, what makes you feel good. You tell me.
Yeah.
If you want to repurpose items, that's okay. You're fine with that. But don't also expect the Pinterest pretty. There are several different looks to things, and we can make it really cool and styled out, just like you were saying, like the little koi bins. But there's different looks to things. So if you're fine with it, do it.
The refrigerator organization stuff with all the bins and all the colors
Is so cool, but
I don't have time. I don't have 3 hours to wash all the berries and the fruit and put them in these bins. And then also, where do the leftovers go?
I normally do dedicate a shelf to leftovers. And I'm very OCD about my fridge because my kitchen, my living room, like I live in a townhome, so everything's just pretty open and it's a smaller space. And my fridge is like right in the middle of both, because you've got kitchen, the dining room and fridge is right here. And then you've got my living room. So for me, it's like if that space is cleared out and neat all the time, I walk in and I go, everything else can kind of take a little grace and, whatever. But that to me is where I get very OCD. So my fridge, unfortunately, is a part of that.
Yeah.
And I do get I want to wipe it down. I want to whatever. But do I do all the decanting stuff still? Again, no. But did I put a really cool Lazy Susan for all of my jams? And what else is on that little bastard? I try to be mindful of what I say in this.
That is okay.
Okay, so I have jams on there. I have, so my tax advisor actually does canning. And so recently she's been giving me all these really awesome canned stuff, like canned peaches and canned yummy pickles and whatever. So I have that all in this Lazy Susan. And let me tell you that was a game changer. And that was something I didn't even intentionally think about. I just sort of bought on a whim. And actually I was at the grocery store. I wasn't even at Container Store because we live pretty much at Container Store. I walk in and I feel like Norm from Cheers. They're like, hey. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was here this morning too. But anyways, so I felt like that was great. And I love it.
It's helped me. I have these little clear ones. I think they're from Ross or something, but we have one of those long deli drawers. And so I have it separated out. And everything is in this little space, like the little cheeses and the snacks for Max's lunch. And so when I make lunch, it's so funny, my husband making it versus me. I have a container that I pull out that has all of his stuff in it. And I just put everything in the container and I pull it one bin out of the refrigerator and take it to the counter to make his lunch. And my sweet husband takes 3 trips. And I'm like, babe, you just put it all in there and then you can take it and then put it back and you're done. Our brains just work differently, but we really try. So there is special containers for everything.
Yeah.
Everything does not have to be a plastic or hyacinth or what do they call it? Oh, so hyacinth bin with...
Yeah, it's like the woven wood.
Yeah.
Which is really pretty, but it doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that. You can get really creative. And that's where the Pinterest comes in, getting creative on budget bins. There's an organizer that uses corrugated cardboard and they come in different colors. There's different heights and different widths. And so you can really nail out a space. So there's lots of different things. But what we want you to know is that everything doesn't have to be in a bin. You don't have to spend money on the bins. You can buy the bins from a lot of different places. Scarlett is very OCD about her bins and where she gets them from, and she likes to keep the same stuff. I have a little bit more leniency and time to go and find different things. And then we have Amber, who's our rock star dumped person, and she knows kind of a little bit of everything. And you can use different bins for different things. I have this tea organizer bin for tea bags. And now I don't use tea bags. I use loose leaves. So I took that out and I ended up putting it in my closet and putting all my big oversized earrings in it. And so now it's easy. I can get in, get out. I don't have to open up my stackers and try to find things. So there's a lot of different containers you can use.
So if you do make the investment and spend quite a bit of coin on containers, you could just repurpose them at a later date, and they do hold up.
Oh yeah,
they do hold up for sure.
I think we constantly, for most of my clients, especially that are on subscription and maintenance, we have an area of extra bins that we can use. So if a new category comes in or they want to move something around, we can do that, and it's easy. And I have that at my house too, minus the box with just the
lids on it.
Lids.
Yeah.
But another one of my favorite that I've been using again since I was single and in my 20s are the Container Store shoe boxes.
Yeah.
I love those. I use them in my garage. I use them in my closet.
And that's the clear shoebox with the lid is what she's talking about. And they come in different sizes, all sorts of, I mean, I use those religiously. I love that they stack nicely. They clean up. They do get a little foggy over time. So we're actually trying to figure out a way to kind of prevent that. Again, and Amber, so lucky to have her. She's working on that.
Those are really great. And they've been around forever.
Yes.
Like she said, they stack. They are easy to clean.
Yeah. They hold up.
They hold up. They're
especially for kids.
Hey, I'm trying to do.
We had a lot to say in this episode. There's a lot. There's a longer episode. Yeah, I think we could keep going with this too. So maybe we do like a part 2. But I mean, containers are our life. So it's absolutely a robust conversation for us very easily.
What else do you have to say?
I don't know, but I do know that there's so much more.
We'll part to it. Okay, thanks for joining us today. Next episode, we're talking about purging and how that happens and how to make it fun and not sad and not overwhelming. So join us next time.
Yes.
All right. Bye, y'all.
The Honest Edit Podcast. Unpacking the truth about life's messes, one honest conversation at a time. With your host, Scarlett, the no-fluff, get-it-done mindset coach, and Holli, your go-to for all things practical, balancing chaos with compassion.